Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 81 of my journey to learn Japanese, and the purpose of this series of live streams is to document my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. And my goal for today is to go over some more kanji regarding basic vocabulary. As per usual, I'm going to be using the Lingo Command website, so let's make a start. So firstly, I'm going to go to the Japanese section, and I'll be studying the vocabulary part. And in the previous live streams, I've studied animals, body parts, clothes, colors, days of the week, months of the year, and numbers. Those were the topics that I was studying. Today, what I'd like to do is go over family. And by the way, this review was basically, I paused studying Japanese for about 3 months, and about 3 days ago, started picking it back up. So those were the topics that I've revised over the last 3 or so days. In any case, let me just talk through what we have on screen here. So we've got this table with the English words in the left column and the Japanese words in the right column. And if we want to know how these words are pronounced, we can just press here.
お父さん、
Let's just up the volume here a little bit.
お父さん、父、お母さん、
And as you can probably tell, the Japanese here is written in Romaji, and at a click of a button, we can view this in hiragana and katakana, or even hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Now, what I want to do is I want to practice my retention, so I'm going to take the quiz. And to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the languages, so the questions are posed in Japanese, and then I have to type the corresponding English. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in to make this a little bit easier to read. So I think what we've got here is otou-san, which means father. And this is honorific, right? When you have a son at the end, it's usually the honorific form. And then this here would be... One thing to notice is that this kanji here is the same. Okay. There's one other thing to point out here. So actually what I'd like to do is, this is father honorific, this is father humble, this is mother honorific, mother humble. It's like this list is in its standard order. If we go here and zoom out, this is in a very specific order. So if you do the test over and over, you get used to that ordering. So one other thing that is worth doing is selecting random ordering, which scrambles the order in which the questions are asked to kind of keep us on our toes. So with that said, I believe this is haha, which is mother humble. And then this one, no idea. Let's take a look. Okay, husband humble. So this I think might be oto, if I remember correctly. I think this is younger brother. Humble. And this is oni-san, which is older brother. Honorific. Right, because we see the son here at the end. So this is the honorific form. And then this is oka-san, which means mother. And because we have the son here at the end, this is also honorific. Here we have otou-san, which is father. Honorific form once again. And then this, I believe it's some type of female family member. Could this be older sister? Humble. Okay, so this is younger sister, humble. Interesting. And actually, if I recall correctly, this radical here means woman. So for example, this has the same radical if we zoom in a little bit. And because we have the lack of san, we know that this is going to be the humble form. As for this one, I think this is uncle honorific. And then this one might be, okay, very nice. So we've, this here is a streak counter. Basically, when you study more than 5 days, it just increments by 1. In any case, let's continue. So I believe this would be grandmother honorific. I think this is oba-san. Grandmother ono. Oh, this is a little typo. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's continue. So this is older brother. Humble. And then this one. No idea. Let's skip that one for now. I believe that this is Uncle Humble. Ah, I see. This is grandfather. So it was for a male family member, but it's not an uncle, it's a grandfather. Okay. And then this would be Oji-san, which is grandfather, like above, but it's the honorific form. Let's skip this one for now. This is Goshujin, which I believe is husband, honorific. This would be Sobo, which I believe is grandmother, humble form. This is father. Now this is just Chichi, which is the humble form of father. So okay, let's type that, humble. So then this is aunt. I think it's oba, and it's got no san at the end, so it's the humble form. This would be older sister honorific. Notice the use of san at the end. I think it's one-san, if you had to pronounce this. We'll skip this one for now. This would be uncle, humble form. Skip this one for now. Okay, so we see this radical here, which means, I believe, woman. And this, I think, is younger sister. And then it's honorific because san is being used. This, on the other hand, is oba-san, meaning aunt, honorific. Finally, this is younger brother. And it's honorific. So that leaves us with a couple more. So this is son, musko. Okay, fine. What about this one? Daughter, musume, humble. Okay. So then this, I think, is musko-san, which is son honorific. And then I think this might be ojo-san, which is daughter honorific. Let's take a look. Ah, this is wife. Okay. This might be Ojo-san, which is daughter, honorific. And this then might be wife as well, but it's unfortunate. We've just lost all of the progress in this quiz. I accidentally went back. So I think this would be wife, humble. I just want to make a note of how the quiz was basically cut off when we went back. There should be a warning sign if user wants to go back in their navigation history if they are currently doing a quiz. Currently, it goes back without asking and progress is lost. And then also when doing handwriting in quiz for family topic, the scroll down bar does not fit in dark mode. Okay, just wanted to write down these two small bugs. So I think the best approach here now would be to reset the quiz and do this one more time. So this here would be father, humble. This is, let's zoom in here, Oba-san, which is grandmother, honorific. This is, so notice, actually, these two kanji are an exact match, so this is grandmother as well. However, it's the humble form. Fantastic. Now, this kanji here is the kanji for younger brother. Notice the use of san at the end here in hiragana, showing that it's honorific. And I keep mentioning here honorific and humble. So honorific is when you're referring to somebody else's like family member, whilst when you're referring to your own family, you'd use the humble form. Let's continue. So this radical here, I believe, means woman. This kanji here is older sister. And this would be humble due to the lack of sun. Fantastic, let's proceed. So this here is oka-san, which means mother, the honorific form. This is oto-san, which is father, honorific. This here is musuko, which is son, humble. Goshujin is what we're looking at here. This would be husband, honorific. I think this is this word also used to have like an old meaning, which is like the master of a house. In any case, this here is wife, humble. And then this would be younger sister, humble. This is mother, in the humble form. This kanji here is ani, meaning older brother. And due to lack of sun, we know that we're dealing with the word with the humble form of older brother. This kanji here means younger sister with san here at the end, we know we're looking at the honorific form. And I think younger sister is imoto, so this would be pronounced imoto-san. Fantastic. Now, this kanji here means father. And then basically what I've noticed is when you have this kanji and then father, it becomes uncle. If you have this kanji and then mother, it becomes aunt, which kind of makes sense to me. In any case, we're looking here at the word for uncle, which is oji. And because there's san at the end, we know we're dealing with the honorific form. So this is ji-san, oji-san. This here is... okay, so when you see this kanji at the end, it turns father into grandfather, right? So I think it serves kind of the same purpose as grand in English. If there was the kanji here for mother, then this would be grandmother. So this is grandmother. And it is the humble form. It's the humble form. The only question is, I think it's pronounced sofu or sobo. I always get these mixed up. Oh, this was so silly. So I know that this is the kanji for father, and then I'm typing grandmother. But that's okay. We'll just continue. So this is aunt, humble form. As for this is... I think this might be daughter, humble. And then this is uncle, humble. This is ojo-san, meaning daughter. And this will be the honorific form. Now this one's quite interesting, right? Because this kanji and that kanji are not actually the same. I think this can also mean like young lady, but it's used as like the honorific form of daughter. That's actually something worth checking. So let's investigate that. So let's take a look. This means daughter, honorific, but the word for daughter, humble, is musume. What is going on? Why is daughter honorific not musume-san? The short answer is because ojo-san and musume are completely different words with different origins and different meanings. Musume is a relational term, not a title. The word means daughter, but it's only used when you're talking about your own daughter. When you're talking about someone else's daughter, you never use musume. Musume, using it for someone else is rude because it denotes their family member. Ojo-san means young lady, miss, or maiden. San is usually attached to names, titles, or occupations. It's rarely attached to close kinship terms that belong to your own in-group. Okay, but then why is musuko-san a valid word? The answer lies in the etymology and how the words were originally used. Okay, this is going a little bit in too much detail for now. But I think that was kind of worth investigating. Let's continue. So here we've got oji-san, which is grandfather. honorific. And then this would be wife, honorific. This one here would be oto, which is husband, humble. This is imoto, which means younger sister, humble. Ah, this is younger brother. Okay, let's continue. So this is oni-san, which is older brother, honorific. And this is musuko-san, meaning son, humble. Oh, that's unfortunate, right? Because son is at the end, so we should have known that this is honorific. Let's continue. And then this is this kanji here. Its first radical means woman. This is older sister, so this is one-san, older sister, and it's honorific. Finally, here we've got the kanji for mother. This turns that into aunt. We have son at the end, so it's aunt, honorific. Okay, great. So I think what I'll do, instead of continuously like going from Japanese to English, I think I've got a decent enough grasp to swap the languages, and then I'm going to be starting with the question in English, and I'll handwrite the hiragana, katakana, and kanji, like so. So let's make a start. So father in Japanese is chichi, and the kanji for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's just write the furigana, that's the reading of the kanji here. So that's chi, chi. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got the stroke order correct here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. And then we're on to younger brother, humble. So that's going to be imoto. The kanji for that, I think it's something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's write the hiragana. So this is the reading of the kanji, the furigana. It's going to be imoto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that was almost there. So what I did was I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is actually 4, 5, 6, 7. So this has 7 strokes instead of 6. We're going to be extremely strict. Classify this incorrect for now. Now, mother would be haha. Kanji for that looks like this. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this kanji here has a reading of haha. Let's take a look here. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that wasn't quite right. So let's try that one more time. So mother is haha. And the kanji would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that feels a lot more natural. And the reading here is haha. Now, we took a look at the answer, of course, so we'll classify this as incorrect. And then we're straight on to uncle honorific. So this is going to be oji-san. Oji-san. The question is, what are the kanji? So for uncle in Japanese, that's oji-san. The kanji for father is this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have one other kanji here that turns father into uncle. It's something like this. And then here we're just going to put san in hiragana. So it's S, sa. And then here we put an N. And let's put the furigana above these kanji as well. So I think this collectively has a reading of oji. But I'm pretty unsure about this kanji here. So let's take a look. Okay, so this was spot on. However, this has a total of 8 strokes. Okay, so let's practice that again. And it turns out that they do have individual readings. So let's try that one more time. So it's oji-san. And the kanji was 1, 2, 3. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's zoom out here. We don't need to look at the rest here. And then this is the kanji for father. And then we're just going to write san to make this honorific. This has a reading of o. This is a reading of ji. Spot on, fantastic. Now, of course, earlier we took a look at the answer, so we'll classify this as incorrect and proceed on to the next question. So, grandfather, honorific form is oji-san. And here, what we're going to do is also write the kanji for father. We'll put san in hiragana here. And I think this was something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's take a look. Okay, so this has a total of 9 strokes, and we need to put the o in hiragana in front. Okay, quite a lot to remember here. So let's try that one more time. So it's oji-san. And that's o. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fine. Then we add the kanji here for father. And we go back to hiragana. Oji-san. And then this has a combined reading of ji. There we go. Ji-san. Here, once again, we took a look at the answer, so we'll classify this as incorrect. Let me pick some simpler ones to begin with. So father honorific would be otou-san. Otou-san. And so I think we're going to start off by writing o in hiragana. Then we write the kanji for father like this. And then we go back to hiragana. We stick san here at the end because it's the honorific form. So this is when you're referring to someone else's father, not your own. And then this kanji here is a reading of to for a total of otou-san, meaning father. Otou-san. Okay, so that's spot on. Fantastic. Why don't we try aunt? So aunt would be oba-san. And Here we're going to do the same thing as we did for uncle. So you start off with this kanji. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you follow that up with the kanji for mother. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. And then, because this is the honorific form, we need to stick san here at the end in hiragana. And this then has a reading of o. This has a reading of ba. So this has a reading of, so we're going to write ha, apply dakuten to get ba, and we'll submit our answer here. And that looks spot on, fantastic. So we'll accept that, and then we're straight on to the next question. Older brother, right? So older brother is going to be oni-san. So here we're going to write o in hiragana. Then we're going to write the kanji for older brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has a reading of ni. And we stick san here at the end to make it honorific for a total of oni-san. Okay, fantastic. That's spot on. So accept that. And then we're on to uncle, the humble form. So that's going to be oji. Oji. So here we're just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has a reading of o. This has a reading of ji. Fantastic. Grandmother would be oba-san. Now, I believe you actually start here with o in hiragana, and then you're going to write this kanji here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we need the kanji for mother. So this is 2 strokes, 3, 4, 5. And then we just need to add san here in hiragana. So this is going to be san, oba-san. And then I think this has a combined reading of ba. So let's write that. So we're going to write ha. We'll apply dakuten. What that does is that turns the H into a B, right? So ha becomes ba. And then we just need to add one a here for a total of oba-san. So let's submit our answer and take a look. Oba-san. So this is actually spot on, which is great news. So we're going to accept this. And let's see what else looks kind of straightforward on this list. So let's go with aunt. So aunt is oba. Oba. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this kanji. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we need the kanji for mother. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it, actually. So then we just need to write the readings of these kanji. So the furigana, as it's called. This is o. This is ba. And one thing to point out here, so this is the kanji for mother. And what I've noticed is when you stick this in front, mother becomes aunt. And if you put father here, this would become uncle. And that sort of makes sense, right? It would make more sense than if you said, put the kanji for father and then this, and then it becomes aunt. So essentially the genders match. So that looks good. So we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So older brother in Japanese is Ani. Ani. Here we're just going to write the kanji. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's zoom in here and we'll write the reading of this kanji in hiragana. That's called furigana. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that's an exact match. Fantastic. So we'll accept that and then we're on to... Ooh, this one I might know actually. I think it's one. Well, it's oto. Oto. And the kanji for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's write the furigana. So this is o. Put sokon followed by to. And that's an exact match, which is great news for us. So we'll accept that. Let's try mother honorific. That's going to be Oka-san. So here we're going to start off with O in hiragana. And then we're going to write the kanji for mother. Like so. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to put san here to make this honorific. And then this kanji here is a reading of ka. Let's try and write this ka a little bit more neatly. There we go. Oka-san. So that's another exact match. Fantastic. We're making good progress. Grandmother. That's going to be sobo. So here we're going to write this kanji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Followed by the kanji for mother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this just has a reading of so. And then this has a reading of ho with dakuten to become bo. Fantastic. Let's see what else we can get. So younger sister would be immortal. Immortal. Now, I just cannot remember. There was some type of radical with 3 strokes here. And then, yeah, this isn't going to work. So I think what we'll do here is just classify this as incorrect. And I'll do another round with the stuff I'm less sure about. So sun. Sun, humble would be musko. And I think what you do here is you do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you do this child radical here, which kind of makes sense, right? Because the son is someone's child. And I believe that this has a reading of musu. So that's going to be mu su. And then this is ko. Let's take a look. So that was very close. We're just missing a couple of strokes here. So this has a total of 10 strokes. Okay, so we'll classify this as incorrect. Let's try this here. So this is going to be musko-san. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. This has a reading of musu. Musko. Oh, of course I should put san there. Sure, let's classify that as incorrect as well then. Younger brother honorific would be ototo-san. And the kanji for that is going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we put san. And of course, we put the furigana here, so this is going to be otol. That's looking pretty good. Our stroke order is an exact match as well, so that's great news. Okay, so grandfather, humble, is going to be sofu. And the first kanji is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the kanji for father. This has a reading of so. And then here we're going to write fu. Sofu. It's an exact match, so we'll accept that. And then we're on to, let's see what else is left. Daughter, older sister, younger sister, wife, daughter, husband. So I think actually what will be useful here is I'm clearly remembering a pretty large subset of this list. And there's a very useful feature where we can just select the parts that we're struggling with. So any form of daughter, whether it's honorific or humble, is tricky. And then older sister and younger sister. Please bear with me, I'll show you where I'm going with this. Then we've got wife in both forms. It's tricky. Husband. Honorific only is tricky. And we'll also try son. Okay, so with this information, what we can now do is we can go to this study table, uncheck random ordering, and we can select specific words here. So we can get a subset of everything we're struggling with. So father, mother is pretty straightforward. So it's older brother, younger brother. This is what we were struggling with, younger and older sister. Grandfather and grandmother was no problem. So it's aunt and uncle. But the honorific form of husband was tricky. Same for wife, whether it's humble or honorific. We'll stick in the son and then also both forms of daughter. Perfect. So what we have here, out of those 28 words, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just under half, that's tricky now. So for older sister, we've got this kanji here with a total of 8 strokes. I think that this radical here means woman. We can actually check that. So if we search radicals, we search for woman. Yeah, here we go. We can see that this radical that means woman is used here. And of course, an older sister is a woman, so that kind of makes sense. And then this is younger sister, so it's essentially the same, but we've got a different radical here. Also has 8 strokes. Okay, so this is going to be tricky, but let's make a start, and through practice we'll improve. Okay, so son, the humble form in Japanese is musuko. Musuko. The kanji with a reading of musu would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like so. And then the kanji with a reading of ko, which means child. That's what this kanji means. Looks like this. So what we'll do here is we'll zoom in. This kanji here is a reading of musu. So I'm writing the reading of the kanji here in hiragana. So this musu is the same as this musu here. When you do this, that's called furigana, by the way. And then this has a reading of ko. So we're going to submit our answer, and we'll see that this is an exact match in terms of the stroke order. Our furigana is also matching. So everything's in order, so we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So the honorific form for son is going to be very similar. It's muskol, but we stick son at the end. So here we just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Here we put son. Basically, whenever you see that, you know you're dealing with the honorific form for like a family member. The honorific form, by the way, is used when you're addressing like someone else's family. So if you're talking about someone else's son, you'd use musko son. If you're talking about your own son, you'd use musko, I believe. So okay, that's great. Let's see what else do we have here. So husband honorific is goshujin. Goshujin. And if I'm not mistaken, you basically just write go here in hiragana, and then I think this is the kanji with the reading of jin. Kanji with reading of shu. Is it something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? This is the part that's tricky. Go. So whatever this kanji is, I know it's got a reading of shu. So what we need to do here is write shi followed by a half-sized u to get a yun combination that's pronounced shu. And then here we just need shi with dakuten to become ji. We'll pan to the right here. Put an N there. If we reset the view, let's take a look. Okay, so we were quite close, but this stroke is in the middle, and it's the first stroke, not the last. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's close this whole thing and just practice it one more time. So go shu jin. Hi there, Sukaris. Long time no see. How are you? Sashiburi. If I recall correctly, when I was streaming months ago, you'd also joined the streams a couple of times. Okay, so this is go. And then we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay, so this is shi, followed by a half-sized yu. Put jin here. Go shu jin. Okay, so this looks pretty much spot on, but of course we took a look at the answer. So we're going to be strict, classify that as incorrect. And then we're on to daughter, the humble form. So this is musume. The problem is I've got no idea what the kanji is here. So let's take a look. Okay, so we've got this radical that means woman, and then 7 more strokes for a total of 10 strokes for this kanji. Let's give that a go. Yes, it's good to be back studying Japanese. I was spending a lot of time trying to improve the app, but I'm pretty happy with the latest improvements, and so I'm kind of back to streaming and tackling Japanese. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you. How is your Japanese going? Are you still studying? Okay, so then this has a reading of mu. Oh, let's try and write that more neatly. Mu su me. Okay, we took a look at the answer, so classify that as incorrect. This might be doable, actually. So older sister would be Oni-san. Oni-san. The question is, I think you start off by writing o here in hiragana, and then you need to write this radical. So it's going to be what's it? 1, 2. Oh, I keep messing up this radical. So here you've got 3 strokes, and then it's for older sister. I think it's something like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is very bad. Let's take a look. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With a reading of nah. So we put nah here and then san. For a total of one-san. So let's submit that. We'll classify this as incorrect because we took a look at the answer. So Sugaris, you're saying you're mostly doing studying Japanese through immersion, like anime and manga. Amazing. What manga are you currently reading, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, so I was selecting a subset of words here. I think what I'll do is uncheck that and kind of try the test again for all of them. Let's see what I can get this time. So we'll start off with grandmother honorific. So that's going to be O-ba-san. So here we're going to start off by writing the O in hiragana. And then we need to write this kanji here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we need the kanji for mother. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally, we put san here. Ah, you're reading Mushoku Tensei at the moment. That's really cool. I haven't read the manga, but I've watched the anime and also read quite a few of the light novels, but in English. Actually, by the way, never really thought to read manga to practice Japanese because I was like, oh, watching anime, that makes sense. But I think actually reading the manga would be even better. That's such a good idea. Because you can sort of, you can also practice your reading. It's really good. So this has a combined reading of ba. So we're just going to write ha with dakuten. So it's ba. And then we put an a there for a total of oba-san. Fantastic. That's an exact match. So we'll accept that. And then we're on to daughter. The humble form of that would be it's going to be musume. And we had this earlier, actually. So, come on, this should be doable. It's 1, 2, 3. That's the radical. That means woman. And then we need this one. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. So this means musume. Musume. That's an exact match. So that's great news. If you are still there, Sukars, I don't know what type of manga you like reading, but I was wondering if you've ever read Berserk or the Climber. Those are 2 mangas like that, blew my mind. Okay, so this is going to be oji. So here we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. For a total of oji, right? So here we're going to write I've read Berserk, but not in Japanese. Very good manga. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I thought the Golden Age arc was phenomenal. I think I did stop maybe 250 chapters in. I haven't completed everything the mangaka wrote, but I thought it was really good. So let's submit this. Okay, that's an exact match. Fantastic. Older brother. Recently finished up to the latest ReZero in Japanese, the anime. It was really good as well. Yeah, so I saw, like, I think if I go Mal, like, ReZero, the latest season has, like, a 9.14, which is absurd. Very high. I think I've watched, like, the first 2 seasons, so given that everyone is raving about season 4, I think I'll get back on to that show. Okay, so older brother is Ani. Ani. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like so. Now that furigana was pretty atrocious, so let's try and draw that more neatly. Ni. Great. Father honorific would be Oto-san. So we're going to start off by writing the O in hiragana. And this is the kanji for father. Let's try and clean that up. Oto-san. Of course, this has a reading of to, so let's put that. Let's write the furigana here. And we'll submit this. Oto-san. Great. Uncle honorific is going to be Oji-san. So pretty similar to the previous question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just stick san here at the end. Okay. And then this has a reading of O, that has a reading of Ji for a total of Oji-san. Let's submit. So that's another exact match. So accept that and proceed on to the next question. Younger brother. That's going to be Ototo-san. So here it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's think this through. I think it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this, we're going to put san at the end. This has a reading of Ototo-san. And stroke order was an exact match, so that's great news. And then we're on to older sister. So that's going to be Anne. So here we're going to start off by writing the radical for woman. And then it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's write the furigana here. like so. And that's looking pretty good to me, so we'll accept that. And proceed to the next question. So the honorific form for husband would be 国虚君. 国虚君. When you come back, did you have to kind of re-jog your hiragana and katakana memory, or was it mostly still there? Yeah, great question. So that's actually, I think I started perhaps on Tuesday this week. That was like my first time after like the last 3 months of essentially no Japanese. And I think it took me about an hour or so to revise all of the hiragana and katakana, including dakuten, handakuten, yun combinations. But what I'd noticed was, the reading was essentially flawless, but some of the writing I'd kind of forgotten. But I think basically I remembered about, let's call it 85%, and then with about very minimal time, I remembered 100%. I would say all in all, to remember how to write all hiragana and katakana was about an hour. I think actually, if you go to the channel, it's like day 78. Like there's the actual recording. But yeah, it was fairly straightforward. So let's continue with this. So this is goal. And then we need the kanji with the reading of shu. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's 1, 2. Actually, I have a question for you, Sukaris. Do you find that the majority of stuff you're doing is reading and writing? Reading and listening? And if so, how do you practice stuff like writing or speaking? I've been trying to practice the writing through this, but especially speaking would be quite challenging. Okay, so here we're going to put shi followed by half-sized yu. And then jin. Goshujin. Fantastic. And then we're on to aunt, which is oba. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we need the kanji for mother. Okay, so then here we're just going to put o, and then we're going to put ha here with dakuten to get ba for a total of oba. Sweet. So you're saying I actually currently don't do any writing or speaking, but to learn kanji, I do write it a few times, but mostly don't prioritize it. Okay. Actually, I really like your approach because, to be fair, I think my Japanese was so poor that if I started doing any reading or listening, I just wouldn't have any foundation. But what I'm hoping is, once I've got maybe 500-600 words through this app under my belt, that I can then, through like listening and reading, kind of acquire more knowledge through immersion. So I think what I'm hoping to do is, like, at the moment I'm just using this to kind of study this vocabulary, but then yeah, I do have a goal to increase the amount of immersion. So I think your approach is really good, and I'm hoping to emulate it in the future once my level is a little bit higher. Younger sister, honorific. So that's going to be, is that imoto? Imoto-san. So I think this is something like, the one thing that I am hoping and that I've kind of noticed is the kanji that I'm able to write, I find very easy to read, because of course writing is so much harder than reading with kanji, so it sort of helps it cement in my mind. But I'm not sure if it's a faster approach, but I've enjoyed it quite a lot so far. So this is 3 strokes. And then I need, I think, 5 more. So what do I do? Is it 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I think it's something like this. Let's put E, Mo, To, San. The real question here is the stroke order for this last part. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put this here. 4, 5, 6. And then I think it's like 7 here and then 8 there. Let's take a look. Oh no, that's so frustrating. This is the 6th stroke. That's number 7 and 8. So we're going to be very strict and classify this whole thing as incorrect. And then we're on to sun. Immersion is very great for listening, especially. At first, your listening runs pretty far behind, but eventually it does slow down gradually. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm very excited. Actually, so I don't know if you're aware, but because I've been building this app, this is what I'm hoping to do to practice like immersion as well. Besides, like, I guess listening to podcasts and stuff like that. So here, I can view this Japanese in hiragana, katakana, and kanji, and then see the English here. And for example, at a click of a button, I can hide the English. Maybe look at this at a sentence level, like one at a time. And then, I can take some notes to try and like break this down. So I can say like, I think this is library. These 3. I think this is toshokan, library. Wa, something, something. I've got a long way to go, but this is kind of a tool that I was building to try and improve like my immersion. And then of course, you can also just listen like this. So
図書館は静かで明るいです。
So once I've made more progress with the vocab, I'm hoping to kind of progress onto this. Okay, so here we've got musko. And the kanji is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is a kanji that means child, I believe. It's got a reading of ko in this case. And then here we're just going to put mu, su, musko. Fantastic. I actually have a question for Karis. Is there an anime or manga that you would say is your very favorite? Mine would be Attack on Titan, or I guess Shingeki no Kyojin in Japanese. Okay, so older brother is going to be in the honorific form. So that's going to be Oni-san. O ni san. And then here I just need to put the furigana. Oni-san. Awesome. Wow, ReZero is your favorite anime. I've heard so many good things about season 4. Like I guess I just need to get back into it. I thought season 1 was super cool, especially with this, was it Archbishop of Sloth? Romani Kanto or something. I think it's like episode 16 of season 1. I remember that was like my favorite episode. Okay, so father is going to be Chichi. Chichi. Because haha is mother. So yeah, okay, Chichi. And here I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. The reading is okay, so that's an exact match. Fantastic. Grandmother is going to be Sobo. So here we need this radical or kanji that it essentially acts the same way as the word grand does in English, right? Because, or at least so it seems, because what I do know is that this is mother, and then when you stick this in front, it becomes grandmother. If I put father here, it becomes grandfather. So this sort of acts like grand, at least in the context that I've been exposed to this kanji so far. So here we're gonna put soul and then bowl. It really picks up. Okay, amazing. Are you an anime only for ReZero, or have you read the light novels? This is so silly. I put ba here instead of bull. I'm not gonna worry about this. I'm just gonna classify as correct, especially because the romaji here is good, and I'm focusing on the kanji, so not too worried about that. So grandfather honorific is going to be Oji-san. Oh, that's super cool. To be fair though, I think as well, I've had this sometimes where I find an anime is more enjoyable if you don't know the source material. I don't know if you're planning on reading past the anime, if your Japanese does reach the level. But I've had that with Attack on Titan. I remember in season 4, eventually I got impatient. I started reading the manga, and it was still phenomenal, of course, but sometimes I wish I waited until the anime was done to read the manga. Okay, so this is going to be all in hiragana, followed by the kanji that means like grand, essentially. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This kanji means father. And then here we put son. And then this has a combined reading of G. There's a word for this. I forgot what it's called, but I think in this case, these kanji don't have an individual reading for this word. It's combined. Okay, so that's spot on. What we can do is go to DeepSeek here and ask, what is it called when two kanji have a combined reading? Oh yeah, I completely agree. I'll just skip this word that I'm looking for now. I don't think it's that important. I've kind of had the same experience where watching or experiencing a story through anime for the first time is usually the best way to go. Unless the adaptation is very bad, but that's usually quite rare. I think that it's so bad that the source material is better. Well, at least in my opinion. Okay, so older sister honorific is going to be no, One-san. Okay, so here we're going to put O. And then here we need this radical that means woman, or yeah, woman. And then it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to write this. Have you ever read a manga called The Climber? It's amazing in my opinion. The artwork is really nice for The Climber. I thought I'd mention it since you mentioned that you liked reading manga. In case you haven't read it and you're interested. Okay, so this is One-san. I've never read it. If you recommend it, I might read it in Japanese after Mushoku Tensei. Oh, super cool. Of course, no pressure, but I just thought I would mention it. Younger brother, that's going to be Ototo. No son at the end, right? Because this is the humble form. And so the kanji for this is going to be 1, 2, 3, no, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th stroke needs to go further down. And then it's 7. And let's write the furigana. That's a reading of the kanji. So we're going to write O, to, the U here, and then one more to, ototo. So we'll submit that and take a look. So our stroke order is an exact match. So is our furigana. So we're going to accept this. I'm going to go straight on to grandfather, humble. So that's going to be so fu. So that would be, come on, think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's looking pretty good, this kanji. And then the next one would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So fu. So fu. Do you plan to mostly learn kanji through vocab or individual kanji and dive into that? Yeah, so we're gonna see if this this methodology or this approach is gonna pay off, but I kind of felt that it would be quite. I've heard of people learning a bunch of individual kanji, and you can spend, hundreds upon hundreds of hours on that. But I quite like the idea of knowing like words. And so I think my preference at the moment would be to learn kanji through vocabulary. And of course, what I've noticed, is, for example, this kanji. I've now like noticed it come up in father, grandfather, uncle, or that this kanji, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that it's used for both uncle and aunt. So hopefully I can sort of get some exposure to these individual kanji through the vocabulary. But that's the approach that I'm trying to use. I think also what I like is by learning it one topic at a time, I feel like hopefully I'm getting like this kind of cluster of knowledge about, let's say, family members. So then I'm fairly comfortable with that. And then if I learn a new word for a family member, maybe this information will help me. Whilst what I'm worried about was like, let's say I learned 3 words about food items and then 5 words here, everything sort of becomes a bit jumbled. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so son honorific is going to be Muskol son. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll put son here. And then this has a reading of mu. Let's write that more neatly. Mu su ko musko-san. Okay, sweet. This one I'm not gonna know. I mostly learned kanji through individual, and I'm at 1.5K. It definitely can pay off because reading sticks more, and you can read stuff you've never seen before due to that. I see. I think one thing that is for sure true is that I just need to actually like practice like reading Japanese sentences. You know, this kind of individual words it's nice now because, you know, it's been a couple of months since I've practiced. But I need to do some more reading practice for sure. Let me try this one. So this is going to be so this one I'm not sure about. I know it's Ojo-san, but the kanji I don't know. For mother humble, it's going to be haha. Let me try and speed run through this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Younger sister is going to be imoto. And it's this radical meaning woman. And then it's 4, 5. This is the 6th stroke. 7, 8. Imoto. Yes, I think this is the 6th stroke. Let's take a look. Okay, fantastic. This would be oka-san. So okay, ka-san would be just this. Oka-san. Cool, that looks good to me. This one here is going to be oba-san. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I just need to stick san to make it honorific. This has a reading of o. This has a reading of ba. Husband humble is oto. So here I'm just gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need to use soko in here. So it's o, half size 2, to. Wife humble is, I'm not sure about that one. Okay, so this is pretty good actually. We just have 3 more kanji that I'm not familiar with. So that's ojo-san, and then the 2 forms of wife. So let's just select those. Okay, so we just need wife and the honorific form for daughter. But it's to kind of, if you're wondering what's the vision here, I'm hoping to practice a bit more vocabulary and then kind of swiftly proceed onto this. I kind of try to build this tool here with immersion in mind. So for example, I can
女の子は毎週土曜日にこの図書館に来ます。
yeah, so onna is that woman?
女の子は毎週土曜
Maishu doyobi, is that every Saturday?
日にこの図書館に来ます。
Shokan is library, so woman every Saturday she goes to the library. A girl comes to this library every Saturday. I think something like this would be very useful. And of course, what I'm also trying to do is, if there's something required to improve my Japanese, I try and kind of build it within the app. That's kind of be my current process. Oh no, did I just remove this? Okay, let's uncheck random ordering. We need 2 forms of wife and daughter honorific. Those are the 3 words I don't know. Is this tsuma? Tsuma. And it's got a total of 8 strokes. Let's give that a go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but this 5th stroke stops here. 5, 6, 7, 8. No, okay. 6, 7, 8. Let's try that again. 6, 7, 8. This radical, by the way, seems to look pretty similar to, well, yeah, that looks like it's woman again. And of course, a wife is a woman. So that sort of makes sense to me, if that's what's going on. Tsuma. Okay, so I took a look at the answers. So you're asking, what do you plan to mainly memorize, more so all around? Yeah, so the reason why I'm showing everything kind of through the app is because I've been thinking of like what would be useful to know. So it's a little bit arbitrary, what's beginner, what's intermediate, but it's like some basic animals, stuff about body parts, like arm, back, ear, eye, etc. Clothing, colors, days of the week, family members, food, months of the year, numbers. So verbs 1 through 6, that covers, I think, about 150 verbs. So I think that would be super useful. And before the 3-month break, I think I got to about verbs 4. And then a vocabulary about the home, different locations around the city, nature, like mountain range, ocean, river, sea, shore, etc. Job titles, right? Judge, lawyer, attorney, librarian, all of this. Some sports, tech, vocab, like, what's a phone, video game, etc. Stuff about traveling, stuff about the weather, and then also adjectives, of course. So these are I adjectives, and these are not adjectives. And so what I'm hoping is, this is in total about 600 words. I'm hoping that will at least give me some foundation, a little bit, to then start doing reading and listening. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so let's grab this. I shouldn't have picked the honorific form of son. Should have put wife honorific. Okay, there we go. So let's try this one more time. So wife humble was tsuma. And the kanji is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm gonna put tsuma. Sweet. So you're asking, have you thought about sentence mining as well? That's mostly what I do on the side. It definitely accelerates immersion. That sounds super cool, but I've never heard of it. Let's see, what is sentence mining for language learning? Sentence mining is a language learning technique where you collect real native sentences from the content you consume and turn them into study material using flashcards. The mining part is intentional. It comes from data mining. So you consume native content, you spot a sentence where you stand 90% of it, but there's one new word or grammar point that you don't know. You capture that sentence and you create a flashcard. Is this about roughly what you're saying? But that sounds very cool, of course, to essentially study like whole chunks, sentences at a time. Would this roughly be considered sentence mining? Yeah, I think that sounds super useful. Of course, it would be a little bit tricky to how do you decide what sentence you want to pick? Do you pick something that you roughly understand and just a small part you don't understand? Or do you pick a sentence that's unique? Like, let's say if you have 100 sentences already, do you pick one that has like a completely new concept compared to the other 100? What is your thought process for picking the next sentence, so to speak? Okay, so daughter honorific is ojol-san. So I think, we'll put ol here. And then here, there's some crazy mess with 18 strokes, if I'm not mistaken. And then we put son. Let's take a look. Okay, 16 strokes. So let's practice this. So we start off with this radical, meaning woman, which makes sense because this is daughter. Honorific, but it can also, doesn't actually mean daughter. It means like a young lady, I believe. Or like maiden. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so you start off with the woman radical, and then you basically write roku, and then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I can remember that. Let's try that again. I usually filter them after mining them, and then after evaluating whether it would be beneficial or practical for me to learn and goes along with my interest, I'll mine it. At the start, I definitely over-sentence mined, and it can backfire because you just build up a massive backlog you can't keep up with. I see. So at first you had a lot of quantity, and then you kind of filtered to improve the quality of the data set. This sounds really good. If I don't mind, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been studying Japanese? I think for me, it's a little bit tricky to say, but I've done about 80 streams. I think on average a stream's about an hour and a half. and then I've done a bit of studying off stream, like let's call it 30 hours. I think I've done about 150. Maybe 200. I have to check this more carefully, but this is approximately what I've done, I think. Around 8 months now. Amazing. Yeah, you've made, I think actually we must have started at about a similar time, because I think I started streaming around December. But yeah, I think, well, quite clearly during that 8 months, you've done about 6 times the amount of work. Very impressive. Okay, so this is Ojo-san. So here we're gonna write O, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to zoom out, we'll put sun here. And then this has a reading of, I gotta think this through because it's, okay, so we put shi, followed by yo, half-sized. Then this is that right? I thought that would be this. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, okay, so this is spot on. Wife honorific is, oh, no idea. Let's take a look. Oksan. Oksan. Okay, so this has, but 1,000 hours is very impressive. Are you hoping to do any like exams like the N5, N4, N3 up to N1? Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this has a total of 12 strokes. Wife honorific, so we're gonna put here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's try that without looking. So it's oksan, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. And then here we're just gonna put oku, and then we put sun. So we'll submit that, take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. One thing that I'm interested in, so if we look at the romaji, here it's just a J and then an O, but here it's, let me put it this way. If we go to Japanese writing systems, and we look under hiragana yun combinations. Ah, here we go. Okay. So indeed, the romaji is J-O, not J-Y-O. Sweet. Definitely later on, I plan to take the N1, but I'm not prioritizing it mostly at the moment. I see. Well, it sounds like you're definitely, if you do decide to do it, you're on the right path. Like 1,000 hours is very impressive. I think this is probably where I'll conclude today's stream for today. So thank you so much for watching. For those watching this later on YouTube, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff if you want to support the channel. On the next stream, I think what I'll do is, so I've just familiarized myself with family, right? So I think what's left to do here is verbs 1 and food items. So I think that would be a great target for the next stream. Thank you so much, Sukaris. You too. Have a good day, good evening. See you next time, hopefully, or whenever. But in any case, thank you so much for joining the stream. See you guys next time. Thank you. Bye bye.